Welcome back, everyone, to Basketball Explained. I'm your host, Marcus Oliver, and today we're going to talk about defense. Just in case you learn anything from this episode or you're interested in consulting with me, I do offer a free consultation. You can find that on my Instagram at Hoop Advisor, and it's in the bio in this one of the links. It's the I can't see it. It's the Calendly link in the bio. All right, so about defense. The best way and the only way really to look at defense is as the reciprocation of offense, the exact opposite of offense. Every single offensive technique you learn, the offense is going to try to use against you. So you must try to obstruct this on defense. The goal is to force the offense into a low percentage shot. The overall goal. So everything you do should contribute to this goal. It's not to stop the defender, it's to force them into a low percentage shot because over time you can see how that can push towards your player as being an advantage. Elements. The elements around defense are what the forces, the momentum that gives you an advantage or gives your opponent an advantage. Stance and structure. Defense starts before your man gets the ball. Structure is shown in what a player does to stop the ball and how. So again, it's shown. So what a player has in mind, he has to display in his person in order to execute what he's looking to do. You can't hide that fact. Position and area on the court. Defenses play on and off the basketball in different areas of the court. You got perimeter defense, high post defense, full court defense, post defense, zone defense, and all of these areas on the court pose different advantages and disadvantages depending on the player. But the goal is to understand what heightens your chances in all of these areas because it's just like a cumulative test. Not just defense, but the game in general. It's like everything you know could be on the test. But your opponent is going to go through the test and be like, okay, I think he's good at this, and try to take it off the test. And then you left with the rest of it. How well your opponent go about erasing those marks is depending on their strengths, individual strengths. But this is something that we can't foresee. So we can't really put into our plan. The only thing we can put into our plan is what is going to be on the test and try to be as versatile and knowledgeable about all of the areas. That way we have the advantage when those areas come up. So technique, strategy, and execution, these are the things we want to know about all of these areas. Every area on the court has a specific technique, strategy, and execution that must be performed in order for the defensive system to operate smoothly. So when it operates smoothly, we're going towards our goal over and over, and that's the way we want to go. But it requires understanding a specific technique, strategy, and execution, meaning that this technique, strategy, and execution is going to push you into a low percentage shot or area, depending on the position or area on the court. And that's what we are looking to do. So when we learn this solid technique, strategy, and execution, it's going to be displayed in one, our initial thought and strategy, two, in the result, saying that our initial thought and strategy is what promoted this result. And then the result, of course, we want to be a low percentage shot. What is valuable on defense? The most valuable part of defense is the deep understanding. Basketball is a game of decisions, and the decisions has to be made. If you stand still, that is going to be a decisive decision. You didn't move forward and you didn't move backwards. So the worst position to sit in is in the middle of two decisions because it leaves both exposed. Okay, so understanding your role, coverage, and responsibilities are a huge asset in competition. You're competing against the next player for minutes. You compete for the next player for a starting position. You're competing for the next player to make the team. All of this is competition, and we must have the value behind our player in order to compete for those positions, those opportunities. Willingness to adjust is a huge factor that you can have behind your player year after year. You never know who your coach will be, what may change, or the competition that may transfer in. But you must always be ready to compete, to adjust, to compete for your position. And this starts on defense. So your coach can have knowledge one year. You may not have a coach with knowledge. You may have organization where you may not have. Whatever the case is, you want to be ready to compete for your position. You want to be able to show that you deserve the minutes, you deserve the spot. And when you have the value behind your player that comes from the game, meaning that on offense, when you understand how to promote the highest percentage shot, and on defense, you know how to promote the lowest percentage shot, it's going to show in your play. And every coach is more drawn to that. Coverages, you got one-on-one coverage, team defense, and rotation defense. One-on-one coverage is when you're guarding the basketball. The question becomes, where does the system want the ball to go? Some people are not playing systematic basketball yet, but you will be. So it's good to prepare and understand that you will be responsible for all three of these things at one point in your career as you move higher, versus where the player's strength, what the player's strengths are. So the question becomes, where does the system want the ball to go versus the player's strength that you guard? And so the offensive strengths. A lot of people are more fearful of the offensive strength than the system, but the system is what's meant to help you with the offensive strength. So regardless of the strength, meaning that if the player is strong right-handed and the system says force the player right, then that's like giving them goals. You know what I mean? But essentially, it's not, because the more I can push them into the system, it's going to push you into help, where I have help guarding you if I need help. The goal is not to need help, of course, because it's called one-on-one defense. But if I do make a mistake, I want to make a mistake pushing this player into the system rather than appealing to their strengths. It's a lot of small bonuses you get for that too. For example, a coach designs a system for the players to run it. If you're a player running the system and forcing and guarding a strong player and force them into the system, then it's going to be looked at as positive. Okay. Team defensive system, keeping up with the ball in your man and reacting accurately to the basketball. This is huge because basketball, if one missed second or one misstep and you behind the basketball and you're unable to complete, or you're unable to fulfill your role. And that's the key. The key is to go forward. Every hiccup, we're gonna take a step back and we're looking for consistency. Consistency is huge in basketball. We don't look to just make one shot. We look to make shots in a row. We don't look to get one stop. We look to get stops in a row. We don't look to get one rebound. We want rebounds in a row. So consistency is huge. So let's think about what we call consistent in life. And I'll give you an example. So when I was small, I had a problem with like touching people, but I was heavy-handed. So I didn't, when you're a kid, you don't acknowledge how heavy your hand is. I don't even know how heavy it is now. But the fact of the matter is, other people was telling me that it was heavy. Like, oh, Bird, like, stop hitting me, da 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 da. So eventually, it became like I had like consistently. I'll start hearing it, and it will be like new to me, But then it got old to me. I'm like, right, you know what? I'm gonna just stop touching people, and people need to just stop touching me. That's where it got to, right? So that's where I went. I just went straight black or white. It was either, okay, like, you want to be cool, or like, my hand heavy, my bad. Like, I don't know. So it was so then I wasn't like, and over time you can see how people expected like some type of touch or interaction and got none, and it was just like, oh, this is new. I could see that in my eyes, but it's like, it's not the first time it happened. It's not the second time that happened. It's not the third time. It's like the fifth, sixth time where they get comfortable enough to know, oh, like, he done with that. You know what I mean? It's over. But just because you don't do it one time don't mean that you got the coach's trust. To get the coach's trust, you can see how many times you got to do this in a row for him to be like, okay, you found the guy, especially if it was a big problem in the past. So consistency is huge in basketball, and really to prove trust and consistency as far as a coach on the sideline, it takes a lot of repetition for a number of reasons. Sometimes you got politics. He really likes this player, but the more you shine over this player, all the teammates and the assistant coaches see this, so it's undeniable at a point. And that's the way you got to make basketball. When you shoot a basketball, it's make or miss. So when you train, you got to train with these same elements. There's no in between. And that's the information I really want to give back, because it's about player development. I want you guys to develop past the 4% chance to make it to college. And when you get to college, be prepared to even break through those barriers, because it's so possible. It's a 4% chance, but that 4% is filled with so much industry focused elements or things, and those are the things that don't matter. The only thing that matters is the game, and I'm teaching you the elements in the game that are pointing to players saying that you can grow from these things. Okay. Oh, back to defensive rotation. Defensive rotation is an additional responsibility Players must understand when, where, and how to systematically help their team. It's the same way we need help when we push a strong player into the system. They're going to need help when they push a strong player into the system, when they have a lapse on defense, and you must know where your coverage lies. And this again, you're not going to move accurately and in the time you need to move if you don't truly understand when this is happening, when this is taking place, and when you need to be there. All of this in this fast-paced game. Why are you keeping up with your man the ball? You got to see that ball take off before anything. Because if you miss that one key moment, there's no way you're gonna know rotation is even needed. And I might be ahead of some people, so just stick with me, and we're gonna finish this right now. Understanding the system, the player must be able to execute. This is the core, the conclusion of defense. So understand the system, understand the numbers, the execution. These are things that we got to start thinking about. We got to start incorporating into our thoughts while we're on the basketball court, while we in practice, while we in training. Understand the system. The players must be able to execute the system requirements no matter the offensive strengths. So because the offense is strong right-handed, strong shooting this, strong doing this, we must understand what the system expects us to do with this type of player and push them into their lowest strength shot within those boundaries. Understand the numbers. The goal is to lower your opponent's chances and to keep them in line with the system. The numbers are based on true strengths and weaknesses. For example, if I can't shoot and I throw a head fake, but you jump, that's a clear indication of not understanding the numbers. What is your goal? The goal is a low percentage shot. If I can't shoot, but I'm throwing a head fake, it should give you some inclination that this might not be what I want to do. But if you jump, then now you have made this a true strength of mine and a disadvantage for you and an advantage for me. So execution, that jump would be your execution that did not force me into a low percent shot. Did he take a bad shot? No, I took a good shot because of your execution. So yeah, all of these things go into what you end up doing, the decision that you make. So when you understand the system, then you understand the numbers, then you're going to execute based on that information. But if you're not even processing either one of those, then you automatically start at 2, 3 disadvantages, maybe 4, maybe more, because you already at disadvantage 2 times on defense because you can't see the goal and you're moving backwards, and then not understanding exactly what you're doing with this fast-paced moving game. You think your athleticism is going to always catch up to the moment, and it's not. That's why we have different levels, because when you hit that level and your athleticism is just as equal or a little bit below because you're starting off, now how is your execution looking? How usable, how productive are you while you're on the basketball court? All right, so this is the core defense. It's not the scary, it's just to give you information to think about, start processing, start implementing, start using the trial and error, start seeing because once I know for a fact, once you hear the information, you're now responsible for it. So it's just like buying a new car or a new red car. You're gonna start seeing that car all over the place because now you are cognizant of it and you're more in tune with your purchase, something that you have. All right. So if you'd like to contact me again, these are my socials. Instagram, you can sign up for a free consultation on the Hoop Advisor. And then I also have a TikTok and a YouTube channel as well. I'm going to post my link tree sometime, probably next episode. But on there, you have a lot of free services. I offer a free workout calendar, some case studies. The YouTube channel is up there as well. And, we're on the YouTube channel. Okay. All right, so these are my socials. If you would like to sign up for a free consultation, again, you can do that in the bio on my Instagram, Hoop Advisor here. And also have a TikTok if you would like to check out some more videos and gain some more information. I just feel like knowledge is power, and that's what I'm giving back. All right, so until next episode, thanks for tuning in. See you next time.